Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Clarke and I work along with my mom Elke Clarke to teach and mentor creative entrepreneurs on how to make money on Zazzle. And today I'm super excited because I get to interview one of our course members and fellow Zazzle designers, Zoe Strawbridge. And I think it's really great that we're chatting today because her and I have a similar background story, and we've just been chatting now, and actually we found out that we have many more things in common than we actually thought in terms of changing career paths and also following our dreams in terms of graphic design and, working online and making money online. So welcome, Zoe, and thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks, Jen. I'll just quickly introduce myself. So as you said, I'm Zoe, and I have my own online and offline business called Gorjo Design. And I do graphic design and interior styling, interior design. As you mentioned, I've got my own Zazzle store, and I'm also a member of the courses that you guys run. So, yeah.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to know, can you give me a little bit of a background story of, your career path? We were talking before, you started out that something completely different between, you went from something very different from graphic design in the beginning. So if you wanted to give me a little bit of a background on where you came from.
Yeah, so I don't want to try and condense it down a bit, but I was actually working in the finance industry, so that's what I studied, that's what my background's in. I went to university for that, and I was working in that industry, like I said, and then my husband and I bought our first home, and we started doing some renovations to that, and I thought, I've always kind of been a creative person, a creative at heart, in the background. And always had little projects on the go. And when we started renovating our own house, we did it all ourselves, and that kind of reignited this passion that I have for creativity and for design. So I thought, I'll just kind of enroll myself I'll just do a short course. So I went to our TAFE college, and I did a short course, and I loved it so much that I started looking around, and I was like, okay, I'll do a diploma. I can do that at night time. That's fine, which was crazy time in my life because we were renovating. I was working full time, and then I was doing study at nights till like 10 p.m. Yeah, it was crazy. So, but I loved it so much that I was kind of propelled to do it. And so that was the interior stuff, and I think I did about 3 or 4 years because that was a part-time thing, as I mentioned, at night. And then the opportunity came up for me to do a summer course in Paris, and I thought that would be amazing. An interior design course there, and I went over and I did it, and when I came back, and I met so many like-minded people there, and just a community of people that I loved. And I came back and I thought, I've got to try and do something now with this study. Like, I can't, I've earned it now. It's not a hobby. I've got to kind of try and do something. And I didn't enjoy my work at all. I didn't like the finance stuff. I'd been in it for quite a number of years. I was getting worn down already. I was still so young. I was like, oh no, I've got like 40 more years, 50 more years of doing this. I can't do this. So I started just thinking about what are my options? What can I do? And I put up a website, and I kind of put my name out there to friends and got some jobs doing the interior stuff. And then as I was doing the interior stuff, I'd get requests to do styling jobs for weddings and baby showers. And then as part of that, and even the presentation of my graphic design stuff, people would ask for invitations, and I wanted to make it really pretty because being creative, I wanted to kind of give them, this is going to be your new project, your new interior. So I started getting into a lot of graphic stuff with that. And then I was like, oh well, I've got to learn how to use Photoshop and even Illustrator and InDesign. So I kind of put that as another side project because I needed more side projects. And I started studying, self-studying that, and I studied online courses through Nicole's Courses, which is an online site, and got some kind of qualifications in that area, and then found that I loved the graphic stuff so much. Chucked a design up onto Zazzle, and I randomly found Zazzle. We might talk about that a bit later. And I chucked it up, and it got some sales, and I was like really excited, and that kind of got me into the Zazzle thing and the graphics thing, and now I kind of probably do more. I obviously do still, Zazzle's not my full-time gig, so I do a lot of freelance work, but I do probably more graphics work now than I do the interior stuff. So that's my journey to graphics. Yeah.
So what do you, what do you actually enjoy more? I mean, both of them are they're very creative, but both of them are quite different too, because Zazzle, with Zazzle, you're also given the opportunity to create products for interior design purposes. But if you're speaking about invitations and stuff, I just wanted to know a bit of a background on what actually makes you, or both of them make you happy.
Well, I'm finding that I love Zazzle because it allows me to have what I call the creative flow time. So with the interior stuff, there's heaps of admin, a lot of kind of non-designy stuff that is involved. It's also very, you have to be really kind of organized and always project managing stuff. With the graphics, and in particular Zazzle, I find that Zazzle's got this unique experience, because otherwise if you're doing other graphics, you're still dealing with printers and clients and stuff. I love that I get to spend time designing, and if I have a string of days, or even a full day where I'm just working on my Zazzle stuff, it's an awesome day because I'm I lose track of time and just get into that flow state of just I think I've even mentioned before in the forum, you think of, I'm going to do this design, and then you go off onto a tangent, and I love that. So I think in terms of that, that's what I love about the graphics and the Zazzle part, the freedom. Creative freedom, I guess.
Well, I just wanted to say, for this interview purpose, I wanted to tell people who are watching who maybe haven't heard of Zazzle before, that Zazzle is a really unique print-on-demand company that is a website, and it's based in the United States, but it allows you as a designer to create products that can be customizable. So each product is a template that you can either sell as is, or it allows your customers to completely customize it. So I think that's what's really, really great about Zazzle. But then also one of the amazing things is that everything is virtual. Like you just said, you can have time to just design and spend hours on Zazzle. You don't have to worry about printing. You don't have to worry about doing any of the shipping or handling. And you can just immerse yourself in Zazzle and create graphic design products. And as I said, Zazzle is a print-on-demand company, so it doesn't actually have any physical inventory until a customer purchases the design. And that's one of the most unique things about Zazzle. There's many other print-on-demand companies out there, but Zazzle is the one that offers the most range of products, and then it also offers the best customer service, I want to say, and also everything that's in the background. And for me too, I can just spend hours and hours designing on Zazzle, and you don't have to worry about the fact that you have to have physical inventory to sell. You can just be creative, and you don't have to worry about, if this will sell or not. You just can be stuck in your creative space and just design. So that's what I really enjoy about Zazzle as well, that I can just have hours where, as you said, you get lost in time creating and designing, and it just feels fun. It doesn't feel like you're doing work. Because you don't have to deal with any of the admin or the background stuff that you have to carry on through with an actual physical business that, as you said, interior design, you have many other things that go along with the business in terms of your admin and stuff. So, I'm sorry, go for it.
Yeah, it's hugely validating, as a creative. I think, if someone buys your design just as is, or customizes their name, or in terms of invitations, you've got the design there, and then people insert their details, but they're buying that design that you've created, and like that's like so validating for someone, because like I'm sometimes wary to put stuff out like, is it good enough? And then I found through Zazzle, like, oh my God, people just like buy it and they love it. Whereas with the freelance graphics work and the interior stuff, the clients that are coming to you already most often have a vision of the way that they want things. So, I mean, they're obviously seeking your professional advice, but it's not just your creation out of your head. That's why I love Zazzle, because you just put it out there and people like it. It's like, wow, they they don't want to change anything. What's going on? Like, because freelance stuff, you're just constantly changing and tweaking and getting it to what their vision is in their head. So
no, that's completely true. I did some graphic design work as well through Zazzle, I want to say, but the clients came to me through Zazzle and they said, the client said, I want this product and I have this vision, and they sent me a picture of what they wanted or whatever their ideas were. And to be honest, I prefer working on Zazzle and just selling my templates or my products as is, rather than communicating with the customers, because in the end, the design that they said that they wanted is completely changed, and you've spent hours and hours on end tweaking like making things in terms of what their vision was, but then all of a sudden they change their mind, or they say, no, it's not this color. So it's a lot of hard work that goes into making a graphic design creation for custom work. So it makes me feel happy that you say that, because I've actually felt the exact same way, that I say, okay, I'd rather put up my design, my vision. They can change the template option on Zazzle, but this is what I want to sell. And it's so true as well. If someone comes to you for graphic design work outside of Zazzle and they say, this is my vision and this is what I want, you as a graphic designer or as an interior designer, you have to comply with what they want. Maybe that's not your vision, or that's not how you think, or you're not in a creative headspace to do that. You have to sort of force yourself to work for them, because obviously you want to get the job. But with Zazzle, it allows you to be creative, and you don't have to worry about what people think or what people are going to say. That you just sell the designs that you've created. And so it makes you appreciate the time that you have as a graphic designer, or as a designer in general, that on Zazzle you can do whatever you want, and you spend and dedicate your own time to your own designs. And rather than if someone came to you for a graphic design job and said, this is what I want, and you have to work very hard to get to that point. It's kind of neat, actually, because I did a lot of graphic design work, and I was just frustrated at the end because it took me forever, and the client was never fully happy, or they made a million changes and you ended up spending 30 hours on it when they said initially 10 hours. So Zazzle definitely gives you the opportunity to get away from that if you want to be creative and just sell your own designs. I wanted to ask you, so you said, how did you come across Zazzle? And also, were you looking, I know that you were doing graphics design work for, custom clients, but were you looking for a way to make money online? I know you mentioned that you had your website, but were you selling your products at that point, or you were just selling your services, like your graphic design and interior design services?
Yeah, so I wasn't selling any products, just the services. And I think just generally having an interest online and stuff, you eventually stumble across passive income and people talking about that. And then I kind of, through my own research and online shopping, I think I must have just discovered Zazzle probably, and I wish I'd started back then, started more seriously back then, but probably 5 or 6 years ago. And when I hadn't even started my services business, but I kind of probably stumbled across that, as part of my own online shopping thing. Looking at other kind of places like Etsy and Zazzle and stuff, just for what they have available. So what was the other part to that question? Sorry.
It was, I think.
How did I find it?
How did you find it? And then also, were you looking to make income?
Passive income. Yeah. So I think just stumbling across that, I thought, like other designers have their stuff up here. Like, why can't, like, I can do this. Like, like I could have this as an arm to my business at least. Initially I didn't think I want to go full time with this and this is all I want to do. But I saw other designers like, yeah, I'm doing this anyway. Like, for obviously I'm not going to put up a custom design, but something similar or something that has the same look. And yeah, I think that's probably, my first design that I put on Zazzle was a baby shower invitation, and that was when I first discovered it. But I didn't kind of commit to it until I last year when I did your course. And yeah, like I said, I wish I'd committed to it earlier, because it's awesome once you start getting some traction. You're like, oh, like I actually can, no, it doesn't have to be bits and pieces of $1 here or there. Like, I can actually consistently make sales. Then probably since last year and doing your course, that's got me really thinking, like, oh, this could be like a really like maybe a big part of my business instead of a small part of my business. Like, I could focus a lot on this. And I think because we were speaking before about putting so many hours into like with client work, like I'm a massive recovering perfectionist, but I'll go over and above and I won't charge, kind of thing, because I'll be like, oh, I can't charge for that, like, because I'm tinkering with it and trying to get it perfect. And I think unless you're a designer, you don't really realize how much time stuff takes, but you can only sell that design once. So however many hours you put in there, and that's whatever I charge plus all the extra hours that I've put in. If I put that same amount of time making designs for Zazzle, they're always there. You can sell them multiple times. Even if you try out a few different designs, that's the other beauty of Zazzle, and you see if one gets very popular. And yeah, I just think that's a massive thing for me, like a kind of blows my mind that while I'm sleeping I'm still making money. Or I think what like a huge turning point in terms of Zazzle for me was at the end of last year. So I did your course, I think as part of the first round in August, and then we went away in October. So it was kind of like full of all ideas, but had a couple of designs up. And then we went away in October, and when I got back, like, I'd earned money and I'd been sitting on the beach, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, I have to, like, how do I? So then I really got motivated after that. Like, I was like, I'm going to go back over all the course stuff. I'm going to start, because I think a big thing with Zazzle and a big thing with the course is consistency and sticking to it, and then you see the results once you've done that.
Yeah, no, and definitely it's great that you mentioned that making money while you sleep, because that's the exact same reaction that I had, that when I first started making money, I think my first year I made $25 or $100 throughout the whole year. So every month I was, okay, $5 or something. But then all of a sudden I actually started to put in the work and the time and effort into it. And I started to see good results. And as you said, I would wake up in the morning and I would have emails from Zazzle saying, you made this amount. And I was like, how is this possible that I don't have to be physically working on the computer at that moment to sell and make money? And it was just eye-opening that, as you said, you spend, as a graphic designer, you spend, for example, 10 hours working on a design, and that design is for that one customer, and you get paid for that time and that effort, but that's it. Maybe they're a reoccurring customer, but you have to work again to make a new design for them. And with Zazzle, you put up a design and it's there forever, so to speak. And anyone and everyone can buy that one design, because the special thing about it is that it's customizable. So if you have an invitation or a baby shower invitation and it says, James on it, someone can buy it and change it to Alexandra, and it doesn't have to be specifically for that one person. It can be for hundreds and hundreds of people. And I had one big seller on Zazzle, and that was sort of my big breakthrough, that I had a save the date postcard. And I started to sell it a lot. Zazzle gives you that opportunity to, create one product and then not have the boundaries or the restrictions that it does as a graphic designer, and having one client and making, you might make a great amount of money with that one client, but it's not reoccurring and it's not passive. And as you said, you wake up in the morning, you're like, wow, I was sleeping or I was on vacation and I made money. This is awesome. And and Zazzle's infinite in terms of the amount of possibilities that it can give you for the products that you've posted. I've made money on products that I've made 10 years ago, and they're still selling today. It's just that you have to keep up with the trends, or you have to make the right products and keep up with the work. I'm not saying that it's super easy, but you make products and it can be income for a long amount of time. So that's great that you mentioned it. It's really funny.
And it's almost the opposite effect, where if you're doing a custom client, or like doing work for a custom client, you might get to an end of the job that's gone for like a few weeks or something, and then you're almost exhausted and you're like, oh, I just need like a day to not be thinking about design or something. Like, I just need to rest. Whereas Zazzle, like, you make a design and then you're like keen to see if it sells, when it sells, and then when it sells you're like, oh, I want to make another one. Like, it's like the opposite. It's energizing rather than exhausting. So that's like a whole different way of thinking about it. So
definitely. And it gives you energy, and it makes you feel happy that even though you don't see the physical product, but you see that your efforts are doing something, and the efforts that you're doing are something that comes from you as a designer. You decided to create this design because you felt passionate about it. And so it's really great. I mean, it makes me happy every morning when I wake up and I look at my email and I see the products that I've sold, and the fact that, you say, wow, I put hard work into this and someone appreciates it. In terms of the benefits that Zazzle's given you, or the opportunities that you've seen from Zazzle now that you're starting to make money online, what do you feel like? Do you feel fulfilled with that? And what has Zazzle given you, or what do you dream of Zazzle giving you?
So I think it's kind of on the topic that I was speaking about before, but it gives me the opportunity to actually just be free with my creativity, which is awesome. And that kind of experimental, and because it doesn't cost anything to put things up, that's limitless. And it's a vehicle for, I feel, that I can put my creativity into the world, because sometimes I feel like doing the freelance stuff, you're only like this little kind of speck of nothing in this huge online world. And when you say that you sold so many of those save the date cards, it's like, you can't even like fathom, get your head around how much that is. But then as you start to make sales and stuff, you're like, wow, like I'm part of something like big, and I don't know, that's kind of rewarding. Like, it's a non-monetary reward, which is awesome as well. Like, obviously we talk a lot about the monetary stuff, but I think because I've worked in a field previously that was, I guess, all about money and nothing else, and it wasn't rewarding. With this kind of second career or a change in career, I kind of seek a little bit more. So the money stuff is great, but the having the freedom and the creativity and being able to sell multiple designs, and I don't know, it gives meaning to it, because you're helping like so many people at once. Like, all these people kind of found my design, and I'm able to scale across that and help them all, not just one person. So it's very meaningful in that way. But in terms of money, I would still consider myself as just kind of like a Zazzle starter newbie kind of thing. And I really want to, I'm now getting monthly income that's good. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, this can be I'm looking at it monthly instead of like, oh, this is a bit here and there. It's actually now becoming a lump sum, which is great. And that's I'm thinking, the more effort that I'm putting into this, the less contact hours I have to do for the freelance stuff. So I think that's probably what my goal is. now is to put lots of efforts into the Zazzle stuff, because I think that then affords me freedom to choose clients when I want to have clients. You know, like if I don't want that. It gives me the feeling of not needing like to constantly find clients. And I think like the huge thing for me about Zazzle is I can get found organically, and that's amazing for me because I'm not a salesy person. I struggle with the marketing stuff. The course has helped me a lot because, you know, with the social media and stuff, but I still struggle, and it's something I need to work on. But with finding clients and stuff, you're constantly trying to like sell yourself, and like almost like, where am I going to find these clients from? Where am I going to find my money from? Whereas Zazzle, you've just got this kind of reliable, as long as, like you say, you're keeping up with trends and keeping up the consistent creation of designs, then yeah, you've kind of got this safe part of your business that keeps running by itself. And I think most people would like the idea of that. I really like the idea of that. So to have that as a full-time thing is it's definitely a goal to make that a big chunk of my business.
Yeah, well, definitely as a graphic designer or as a designer in general, it's true that you want to have, it's maybe, you know, people have different things that they're getting out of Zazzle for whatever reason, you know, money-wise or time freedom or time to spend traveling, you know, so Zazzle gives you a world of opportunities. So each person is different in terms of their background and what they want to achieve in their life. And as you said, it's really interesting to hear you as a designer, you want to have creative freedom, and you don't want to have you know, trouble looking for clients and you know, keeping up with, okay, where's my next client coming from? Zazzle is great because it does their own promotion, and you can put your designs up there, and yes, you can do external social media promotion as well, but within the Zazzle marketplace, they promote a lot themselves. And so for your designs to get found on Zazzle, it's much easier than if you were to have your own website and try and promote your graphic design or interior design skills to clients in your area or online. And speaking about the online world, Zazzle is a worldwide known business. I have clients from all over the world. I mean, you're in Australia and I'm in Spain, but I have had clients in the UK, in Asia, in Australia, in Canada, and the US. And, you know, I have clients from all over the world. And for me, as a person who was also interested in making money online previously, it was so hard for me to fathom that I could make clients or create clients around the world. You know, I'm from a tiny town as well in Canada, and as you were mentioning, you're from a small town in Australia. And for me to get to know people around the world, you know, you have to be very active in social media promotion, you have to be very active in online marketing, and it's a very hard thing to do if you're not extremely dedicated to it. And for us designers, when all we really want to do deep down is be creative, we don't want to have the extra work of trying to promote ourselves and market ourselves as well to get clients. So Zazzle gives us this awesome opportunity for us to just be creative, and if we want to do a little bit more promotion, but we don't have to worry about where my next client's coming from. As you said, you know, Zazzle has been a great way for you to start making money monthly now, and the money's not always what people are like, they're not earning that in terms of the achievements. They want to have time freedom. They want to have the opportunity to just be creative and design and not have to worry about, you know, as you said, where your next client is coming from. So that's really awesome. I mean, I feel the exact same way too. I was frustrated that I couldn't find clients or even trying to find a job, you know. Graphic design skills are very particular. If people want something done, then they will look for you. You know, not everybody wants something done as an interior design or a graphic design job. So we're in a very particular field where it's not like we're selling, you know, X thing that everybody in the world wants. It's something very special. So for us to be able to use that skill and to monopolize it on Zazzle, it's an awesome opportunity. So yeah. I don't know if you, I mean, you just said it, but I agree with you. I mean, Zazzle's given us an opportunity to just, you know, be creative and be ourselves. So, and I wanted to say, would you recommend using Zazzle, like, to all of your friends or family members, or even, you know, fellow colleagues in the design area or graphic or interior design area? Would you recommend them to start to move towards Zazzle, even as like a side job to explore?
Yes, highly recommend it. I wish that I had, you know, had seen the benefits of it earlier. I mean, I think back and I think that would be an awesome, like, part-time job, or while I was still working, like I could have built that up at the same time. So yeah, definitely anyone, and not just designers, like anyone can put their stuff up there. The platform is another reason that I like it is it's just so user friendly and it's really easy. There's other stuff that I've tried that you spend more time trying to figure it out, trying to like upload stuff, download stuff, type, you know, create wording to go with stuff, and it's just like the back end of some things is just very clunky, and Zazzle is just so easy. Like, I think anyone could do it, and I would recommend it to anyone, because I don't think there's opportunities there in the marketplace that you don't need to be, you know, an amazing designer. You can put up some very simple things, and I think there's still obviously a market for that. But if you are a graphic designer, I think why not? Like, you're doing these designs, you have the skills, like if you have the computer program skills and stuff like that, I suppose it, you know, why wouldn't you kind of take advantage of putting your designs up there as well? And yeah, I just think it's just like, if anything, just have it as a backup, and then when you see like how well it goes, you know, you'll change your mind. And I think also, if you're just interested, like I mean, designers are interested anyway, but if you're just interested, I mean, most people are on Instagram or Pinterest and searching stuff. You know, if you love design trends and stuff like that, like, why not just give it a go and put your own stuff up there? I would highly recommend it. It's just, yeah, I think it would have been a perfect thing, like as a part-time thing if you were at uni or whatever. Yeah, so someone in that position as well, like, it doesn't have to be a full-time gig. You could on the inside, but yeah.
Yeah, no, for me, when I first started out on Zazzle, I was in university, and I was doing part-time jobs here and there. And as you said at the beginning, you have a financial background, but you learned graphic design because you wanted to move into your interior design business. And I learned graphic design after I got onto Zazzle, because I realized that I wanted to make more creative designs. And as you mentioned, Zazzle is super easy. The design platform is very easy. You don't have to have graphic design experience. You know, you can make a very beautiful design using the platform that they have. They give you lots of fonts. They give you lots of options for paper or colors, or, you know, design product options. And so the platform is extremely user friendly. And yeah, when I first started out on Zazzle, I think the first year or two, I was just creating designs using their design platform. And then I decided that I wanted to learn more about graphic design. And so as you mentioned, you know, if you're not a graphic designer, then just why not try it? Because if you feel creative, and I feel like many people nowadays are very creative online. I wake up, and instead of reading the newspaper, I go onto Instagram and I get inspiration, or I go onto Pinterest, you know. And I think a lot of people our age or in this generation do the exact same thing. So everybody in their own way is some sort of a creative person. And so if you want to be creative online, then you can definitely go for it. I just mentioned graphic designers because, as you know, if you've done the work already, not that you're using the same project that you created for a client, but if you have some sort of inspiration or a base product that you've created, then why not use that and transform it and create something of your own, or that you have the skills for design with Photoshop and Illustrator. So you obviously have the experience and you can design your own things for Zazzle. So, but yeah, I mean, Zazzle is a world of opportunities for anyone with any background. If we did an interview last week with a mom who she wanted to be an entrepreneur working online so she could be with her kids. So she came up with the idea that she wanted to work online, and she sort of learned on her own. But yeah, I have lots of family and friends that I mentioned Zazzle to, and they had no idea what Zazzle was or that there's an opportunity to make money online. And because because people are so influenced by social media these days and becoming a creative person, so to speak, and the movement towards making money on social media or online, they've decided to take the opportunity to work on Zazzle.
One of the big takeaways that I got from the course was doing designs that you love and that you're passionate about, and quality over quantity, and just like the efforts that you put in kind of will be rewarded. And I love that thought. It kind of it grows from your own love for doing it. And I found that the more excited about the design that I am, the more sales I make from it. So I think that's an awesome. So designer or not designer or whoever you are, if you're passionate about it, and it kind of goes against the grain a little bit because that's not your normal. I think it's an amazing thing because you kind of think, starving artists doing stuff they love but not getting any return from it. So Zazzle is an awesome platform where you actually are doing stuff you love and you are getting money for it, and that's
my mom and I have a creative background as well, and I wanted to say that, as you just mentioned, starving artists, that people think that they have to suffer for their work, that they have to slave for it, and that being an artist is being creative and you have to work for the money that you make. And as well, my mom and I had problems where we would try and sell our artwork or my designs, and people would try and bargain with us, and say, well, this is a handmade piece of artwork or craft, they would say. And so I would say, okay, no, it's worth this amount because I spent these many hours and plus the material cost me this much. And they said, no, well, I think it's worth this. And if you don't want to pay, if you don't want to if you don't want to accept that, then I'm not going to buy it. And it just made you feel so degraded, as if, you put your time and effort and hard work into making this, and people think that they can bargain with it. And so that's where my mom first came to Zazzle, because she was looking for ways to make her or sell her artwork online. And she came across Zazzle. And so my first products and her first products were sort of reflections of our artwork. I started out making, t-shirts and clothing because I was more into the fashion, and my mom would, she did watercolors, so she would take pictures of her watercolors and put them on postcards. And it as you said, Zazzle gave us this opportunity to make us feel like we actually are appreciated as artists. We're not, we don't have to slave over our work 20 hours and then not get rewarded for it. And it was, as I said, our experiences with trying to sell our artwork were really quite difficult, because for some reason, people thought that artwork was, a craft or a hobby. And if you weren't a famous artist in a famous gallery in one of the biggest cities in the country, then you weren't appreciated. It gives so many people a different opportunity to sell on Zazzle and feel rewarded for their work, whether you're a designer, whether you're not, or whether you're an artist or even a photographer. As I said, I have a lot of friends who they were inspired to create designs on Zazzle because I showed it to them. They had no idea what Zazzle was. And we always ask everybody where and how they came across Zazzle, because Zazzle is a worldly known company, and it's very well known in the United States. But for people, for example, in Australia and in Spain, where I am, people have no idea what Zazzle is. So if you're a designer on Zazzle in that country, we want to know, were you looking for it, or did you stumble across it? So it's really quite cool to see, you know, the stories of where people came from. And yeah, as I mentioned, I have friends here in Spain that I said, you should do this, because they're struggling to work or find a job, and they have no idea what Zazzle is. But then as soon as they understand it, they're like, wow, their eyes like light up, and they're like, this is an amazing opportunity. You know, if I can actually make money online, I can be independent, I can be my own boss, I can have time freedom, or I can just be creative and do whatever I want. So that's what like my inspiration from Zazzle is that I was so inspired to be able to be creative, like you mentioned, but then also have the freedom to travel, because I wanted to travel. That's one of my things. And yeah, it's just amazing. So
Yeah.
as you mentioned, you've been given those opportunities too, and hopefully you'll move towards you know, cutting more of your freelance work out and more time or more money making on Zazzle, or more time spent on Zazzle.
Yeah, I definitely share that travel goal. Really, yeah, a lot. And I think like I look at this situation. I'm like, I'm so lucky to kind of have. Well, we're lucky to have the online world open to us. Because I think, you know, my parents, they love traveling, but they had that same mindset. But their whole thing was they had to work like dogs, like, and kind of earn their leave and stuff. And then, you know, they could take, you know, a couple of months off or whatever, but then they had to go back. And, you know, whereas with this, you know, you've just got the freedom to, and it's also more predictable as well. Like you kind of, with the course, you know, you kind of it's almost like a formula. How much you put in is how much you get out, you know. Whereas, you know, like as opposed to a traditional work setting where, you know, you're going to get this leave, or you have to purchase this leave or whatever. It's kind of like the sky's the limit and it's up to you. It's a huge mind shift, I think, for people, like whether you're a designer or not. Getting onto Zazzle kind of takes a while to get your head around, like, you know, this is very it's not traditional, it's a very unconventional situation. Yeah, like even I'm trying to get my husband, because he loves photography, I'm trying to get him to get some of his photos up. Just that, you know, when he's in a traditional job, so like he's, you know, working throughout the week, I guess the last thing he wants to do is come home and put stuff up, and I'm like trying to encourage him. I'm like, come on, like you'll see it. Like, but when I suppose if you're in that mindset until you're forced to get out of it, like, and I was forced to get out of it because I had to do my own business and my own work, and then you try to, you know, you're more open to giving stuff a go. But my recommendation is to just give it a go, like no matter what. So.
Yeah, no, I understand what you say about coming home from a long day's work and then trying to put up designs and working more. I think you just have to be in the mindset to realize that maybe Zazzle right now, if you put up one design, you might not sell it right away, but it's working towards a future that gives you much more freedom in terms of everything, you know, money-wise, travel-wise, time freedom-wise, and creative-wise, where you have to put the time and effort in, and then you'll see the results.
And it's legitimate. Like I love that you know, it's not quick, like, oh, you're gonna be rich overnight kind of thing, but it's like a good, legitimate, honest online thing to do, and like that appeals to me so much, because I don't want to like be ripping people off or like try to sell something that's not worth anything. Like I want to go, okay, here's the design, you love it, you need it, you buy it, and everyone's happy. Like I like that. I like, there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of platforms online that you almost like, you look at it and you think like, that's kind of ripping people off. Like that's not, I don't know, it's an ethical thing as well for me. Like I'm like, it's just put in hard work, you know, you get your designs and then you get rewarded for it. And that's, you know, I like that. That's awesome.
Have you gone online to see your reviews? It's quite cool because then you actually see, I mean, Zazzle gives you either the opportunity to get contacted by customers to give you, to make you a custom design, or people buy your designs as is, but they change the templates themselves. But
Yeah.
it's really neat to see their reviews of the products that they've purchased, because you can actually get a review from someone who didn't contact you. And some of the customers actually post pictures of the products. I don't know if you've had that yet happen, but in the review section, it's really lovely to hear all the comments. I mean, as we were talking about how Zazzle is legitimate, Zazzle's product range is, you know, they try and make the best quality happen, and they want to give the best customer service to their clients. They want to do everything perfect. So through the reviews, you can definitely see that Zazzle's a great company to go with, because everyone is extremely happy with, you know, the paper quality or the t-shirt quality or the print quality, the design quality, and also the time that it got to them. You know, shipping and handling, everything was perfect. And it's really lovely to hear those comments from customers, and it actually makes things even more real. I want to say that when you get an email from Zazzle and it says, okay, you've sold 10 invitations, you say, yes, you know, like now I have this product sold. But then to actually understand who that person is who bought it, and that they were happy with their design or appreciated the work that went into making the customized design, it's really great. It's really uplifting, you know. It makes you even happier and more excited to design even further.
Yeah, and I think that's what attracted me to doing your course as well, is like the course, it actually gives you actionable steps, and like going back to the kind of legitimacy and stuff like ethics around it. Like, you know, this course actually will help you. It's not just going to give you like vague like, I don't know, like ideas of like, if you maybe do this, like this might be an outcome or whatever. Like, you and your mum both have like stories, and you're very kind of open and transparent about that, which is awesome. And yeah, like, I mean, I think maybe I'm on the extreme end of having a background in finance. Like, I'm almost like skeptical of stuff online, you know, like, you know, like, I don't, what is this right? Like, is this legit? And yeah, it is. Like, and I mean, I've just like 2 days ago got my tax statement all the way from the US from Zazzle, so I'm like, see, it's like actual, it's you know, so legitimate and stuff. And I think that online can be starting, that's a huge hurdle that I've found starting my business and stuff. You've got all sorts of people, all sorts of clients. Like, you can, you know, it's almost a minefield. But once you find something that works and that, you know, you're happy with, and you're getting like if they, I actually got a client contact me that actually said, I'm coming to Adelaide. I'm like, what are the odds of that? Mm-hmm. But the type of person that is attracted to that, I think, is a good fit for me. Like, I don't know, you kind of, I suppose you're putting up your designs and what you kind of like, and then you're attracting the same kind of people. So yeah, like, yeah, you're getting, and you with your feedback, I've had a couple of comments, but not nothing photo wise, but yeah, you're getting people that actually really, really appreciate it, and not just, I suppose, like, term random people that, you know, you don't have to sort through, you don't have to filter. Like, sometimes with your freelance stuff and that, you're like, you have to do a bit of filtering and just to see if you're a good fit, and then that, you know, that in itself it takes time. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned the course a couple of times, and I wanted to say for this interview that my mother and I offer a Zazzle course, 2 Zazzle courses, a beginner's and an advanced, and Zoe is part of both of them. And I wanted to say that, you know, you've mentioned a couple of things that you've learned or that you've appreciated from the course, but I just wanted to say, like, the biggest thing that you've realized through taking the course, and how has it helped you with your Zazzle business to either go forward or to organize yourself more, or even to analyze your sales so that you can better for the future. And yeah, something that you just appreciate from the course that you really like.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't like sing its praises enough. I absolutely love the course. It's like evident that, you know, the hard work that's been put into it, and it's evident how much you guys want to help people. So that's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much from a student. You know, from the course, I've learned probably consistency, because I think all those years ago, I put up a design. I was like, oh, that might just be a fluke that someone bought it or whatever. And I think in the advanced course, the 30-day profit plan course, there's actionable steps to go through, like how and when to make products, you know, how to be consistent in making those products, evergreen, seasonal products, all those topics are covered. And I think that's so helpful. Even little things like in the course get given like dates of when like big events are on and stuff. And that's super helpful from like being in Australia. It's not always relevant, because it's a, you know, mainly US market, even though, you know, you get students from get clients from customers from everywhere. Like it's really interesting, because you're like, oh, okay, that like comes up at this time. Like we're kind of back to front, and like, you know, like we're making, you know, winter designs for Christmas when it's actually hot and stuff. But it does kind of open your world up like to that. So like little things like that are super helpful, and production schedules, because you kind of don't know like how many products should I be making, like what type should I be trying and stuff like that. And like of course you can like kind of experiment with that, but it gives you a really good base. Like I was saying before, like it's almost like a formula, like if you put this in, you will get this out type thing. I love that. I love that the course is like analytical as well. Like it goes like, yeah, it goes in depth to things. I really like that. Like I like how like you've done research and experiments and stuff, and what's worked. It's like real life case studies that you can base it on, and I think that's really cool. And I also think the importance of customization. Like I think being doing the freelance work for just the graphics and the interiors, you kind of just get stuck in that that taking customers' advice and doing that, but you're not always looking at it from someone who wants to customize something like on the internet. So that was a huge like learning thing for me. So like building templates inside the Zazzle design area, like making sure that just thinking differently about like length of people's names and stuff like that, that, you know, it would have taken me a while to kind of get that in my head. Like you know, I probably would have learned that down the track, but this just kind of points it out, you know, while you're doing the course, like don't forget like this, it's really essential that, because, you know, you might not be making sales if someone can't do this. And I think there's a couple of designs that I've gone back and I'm like, oh yeah, like looking at it through their eyes, and then you make sales from it. So like tips like that have been invaluable. And then the big one, like the overarching thing, I think, is the belief in my niche and my designs, and the belief in myself, I guess. Like, because sometimes you can sit there behind a computer and think, oh, like, you know, I'll put this off, I don't know, like if it'll sell or do this, whatever. It's like super positive in the course, and the course has the Facebook community, which is awesome. And yeah, like I've found like everyone in there so genuine, and yeah, I like it, because yeah, it just gives you confidence, and you kind of bouncing off each other. Like there's no kind of competition or anything. It's just like, yeah, and like people willing to share information and stuff like that. So it's super refreshing, because I'm on like a few different Facebook groups and stuff like that, and there's a lot of negative, like just in general. online stuff, but this is definitely like something that I always talk about. Like I'm always like to my husband, like, I've got to watch this. Like Elke and Jen have just done this video. Like I've got to watch this. Like I prioritize you guys. Like I'm like you're on my favorites list of like the, you know, when you get Facebook stuff, I'm like, oh no, definitely gonna watch it. And that's good because it shows that like, you know, you don't like just being authentic and being yourself and just telling your story it's inspiring to people. Like you don't have to shout and be loud and be like, buy my course and do Zazzle because, and then give no actual reason or like solid evidence. And you guys have like you're constantly delivering good info, and yeah, like definitely, you know, cutting through the noise of the internet and like it's awesome. And the 7 days to success course, that's the beginner's course, I did that one as well, and that's really good if I would highly recommend that if you have no design experience or whatever, and you just kind of just want to be guided through, like walked through, and it was good for me because I learned like more of the back end of Zazzle, how things are designed on that. But it's almost like it kind of holds your hand through those stages as well. So yeah, like everything's covered. If you do those 2 courses, you've like set everything's covered. You've got the full shebang.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's amazing to talk to our members, and I mean, from my experience, the course has been great because then we help teach people how to make money on Zazzle, and that's what we started out doing because, you know, we had this experience on Zazzle and we said we want to share this with our, you know, with a community, because we first started out sharing the information with our family and friends, and they were really inspired, and we just generally wanted to help people get out of situations that they didn't want to be in terms of either a full-time job, or maybe they were unemployed, or they just weren't happy with what they were doing. And so it first started out as, you know, trying to connect to people around us in our community, and then we said, you know what, we're going to start a blog. And we started writing articles and giving information to people, and wanted to see and reach out to the Zazzle community, because on the Zazzle forum, people, as you said, there are a lot of people out there who are extremely negative. You know, on the Zazzle forum, some people can complain, some people can give you a good advice, but we found that in the overall aspect of it, it wasn't what we wanted to, you know, offer. The Zazzle forum was sort of some place where people came to chat, but we wanted to connect and inspire people. And as we've created this course, it's really great that, you know, a year ago, to be honest, I wouldn't have met you and we wouldn't be chatting on FaceTime right now if this wouldn't have happened. And it's so great to connect to people who are like-minded and who are designers and who are excited and enthusiastic to learn and make money online. And as I said, you know, this course has given me the opportunity to help people learn how to make money, but then also helped me grow as a person. And I think help people grow as people, as, you know, as a person as well in the community that we've created, because we've created such a positive community. And I feel like each and every one of the members, even though I have, you know, I've never met you in person, I feel like we have a really great connection where we are on a good level. We're, you know, passionate about the same things, and we can help encourage each other to be creative or to do that design, or, you know, go for it. Because working on the computer, as you said, it can kind of get a little bit lonely sometimes. You're sitting there and you said, okay, should I put up this design? Would anybody, you know, buy it? And for me, I always had my mom with me. But there's a lot of people like yourself who came across Zazzle, and you're dedicated to working on Zazzle. But I don't know if any of your friends know about it, but you are sort of in your own business alone. And it's great to have this community to say, okay, no, you can do it, Zoe, you know, go for it. Or this design looks awesome, but you just need to tweak this and it'll sell. you know, we created this Facebook community and the members community without actually realizing what we were creating in the beginning. We wanted to just help people learn how to make money on Zazzle, but now we've created, you know, a learning community and a really respectful and encouraging community as well. And I think that's the one thing that I'm most proud of, as, you know, creating the course. And I think my mom is as well, that we wanted just people to be successful on Zazzle. We're not looking to, you know, we're not looking to sell our courses and leave you guys in the dust. We want to actually connect with you and teach you and encourage you that you can make money online and everyone can be successful, because Zazzle gives so many opportunities for everyone to make money online. It's not a limited possibility. So I'm really happy that you said those things. It makes me so happy to hear them from you, because that's what we wanted in the beginning. We wanted to create a course where people were positive and encouraging, and that we all support each other to become successful online. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you, because it's definitely refreshing, like to have something online that's so kind of meaningful and not just another kind of thing online that you're not interested in, like actually having an effect on my life and motivating me. So can't thank you enough for that.
Thank you so much. Now I wanted to say, do you want to just mention one more time your Zazzle store, and then maybe even your website or anything that you wanted to put out there so that people can get in contact with you if they want to?
Yeah, sure. So my website is gorjodesigns.com. So I think
I'll put that in the link or something. I'll put a link in there.
And the Zazzle store is the same name, Gorjo Design. So I'd love it if you visited my site. That would be awesome.
Perfect. And then if you wanted to just actually tell people what kind of designs are in your Zazzle store, or what kind of, you know, what niche you're in.
Yeah, so I'm mainly I'm big on simple, minimal design. So that's my niche. I do a lot of wedding stuff at the moment. I've got a lot of wedding stuff in there, but I'm hoping to get a few more kind of branch out a little bit as per the course recommendations. So I've done like a couple of graduation and baby showers and stuff, but I've got at the moment a lot of wedding stuff in there. But if people like real simple kind of minimal designs, then check it out, and that'd be great.
Perfect. Well, I will leave the links in the video below on YouTube, and also in the blog post, which will be coming out, and you'll hear a little bit more about Zoe's story in the article. If you are watching this video on YouTube, make sure to go and check out the article, which is also going to be in the link in the description below. And if you're watching the article, go to YouTube and subscribe and check out Zoe's Zazzle site and her website as well. And once again, thank you so much, Zoe, for being on this interview with us. And I think that we got a great story. It's great to hear everybody's backgrounds and to hear where they've come from, and you know what makes them so passionate about designing and making money online with Zazzle. So it was such a great time chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Okay, so everyone, thank you so much for watching. And as I said, check out the links in the description below. Check out the article. And if you would like to subscribe, that would be great. If you have any questions or comments, leave them on this video and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Bye.